Detective Quinn just said, upon questioning the district attorney, why is it important to develop a rapport with a witness? And the answer was something to the effect of, to get truthful information. No witness can talk about veracity or truthfulness or believability of anybody, That's what I tried to say at the bench. That's the entirety of this testimony so far. I'm moving for a mistrial on Mr. Williams because this gentleman interviewed a big witness in this event, the only witness that puts Mr. Williams involved in this event. And now it's important to get truthful information. I don't know how you wipe that out. Are you going to tell the jurors, ignore that last comment? That's what you're going to say? And I warned it. And I was at the bench, and you did not want to hear from me more than you did. You told me to step back. But, Your Honor, I've been doing this too. I anticipated it wasn't that hard to do. I'm moving for a mistrial, and I did it at the proper moment.
All right. Ms. Hilton?
Your Honor,
Have a seat, Mr. Sharp. Let her finish, okay? All right. Remember, the Harvey rule is still in effect, so have a seat.
Your Honor, as it relates to Detective Quinn's response, he did not talk about a specific witness, truthfulness, or veracity. He said, in general, what I'm trying to do is to find the truth. And that is what you do in an interview. You're determining whether or not what the person who's speaking to you is credible, if they're providing credible information. Your Honor, even in this case, when you listen to the interview that has already been admitted, Detective Quinn already tells Agent Bain, I don't think you're being fully honest. So he's not talking about the veracity of any one witness. He hasn't even talked about any witnesses yet. So for defense counsel to deem or ask for a mistrial at this juncture, given this testimony, we're going to ask for you to deny.
All right. I'm going to deny the motion.
And if you think that was crazy, oh, nah. We got a lot of recap to get. Make sure, hey, if you got something you drink on, drink it. If you got something, you put your fingers up and you do that, man, go ahead and get yourself ready. It's about to turn up. This might be a longer video because I got a lot to work with, but I might got a special, very special Detective Quinn video to drop either Saturday or tomorrow, since we don't got no court, and I'll drop it around this time tomorrow. Let's go.
I'll call you next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls retired Detective David Quinn.
All right. Summon Detective Quinn, please.
I do. David Quinn, D-A-V-I-D, Q-U-I-N-N.
And good afternoon. How are you employed?
I'm retired. I heard he had some injuries, but I didn't think they were significant based on what I learned on scene. I wasn't even sure at the time if he went to the hospital.
And you said that Mr. Prothero, Mr. Murphy went to the hospital. What hospital did
Critical Memorial.
And did you have any investigators go to Brady Memorial Hospital to speak with Walter Murphy or Frederick Prothero?
Yeah, I have my partners, Detective A.B. Calhoun and Detective Tracy Lewis. They would go down there and try to see if they could give me some feedback on what kind of injuries I was dealing with. I was really concerned about the brother that was shot in the back.
Have you ever had the case of someone who was under the influence of drugs or alcohol? As an investigator, have you ever had the occasion to interview anyone who was under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
I mean, throughout my career, almost every day.
Okay. Did Mr. Nava Flores appear to be under the influence of any drugs or alcohol when you met with him?
Not at all. He was clean.
Did his eyes appear to be glossy as if he was high or anything like that?
I didn't see it.
Okay. Was he able to speak with you coherently?
Clean as a bell.
After this interview with Mr. Flora Naves, did you have any additional interviews with him?
I did not.
Okay. And was this your only recorded interview with him?
Absolutely.
At any point, have you ever erased any part of this interview regarding Mr. Flores Nava?
Not at all.
Mr. Steele, please don't try to engage me in conversation. You're not prepared. Because if you prepared, you'd have told me. You invited this conversation. I did. I asked you if you were ready. If you were ready, you say, yes, Judge, I'm ready. I have to do those two calls. Now, if you're not ready, then go ahead and just tell me you're not ready, and we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and we'll figure out something else to do. But if you have any other basis, then tell me.
You instructed me. I raised this already. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I actually don't.
Well, then we need to ask the jurors to politely leave so I can refresh them. It needs to be clarified for the record that it was not done on September 11, 2013, and then a map with little dots with 0.4 miles I've never seen before. But I didn't do anything, Your Honor. I want to move the case. But when the court, it gives me no pleasure in saying this. I believe that this honorable court is biased against Mr. Williams and or his counsel, and I ask you to consider recusing yourself or don't do this again to me. This is inappropriate to me. I respect you, but what am I supposed to do? Sit there while you do this? I didn't do anything wrong. I did exactly what you teach me to do and the courts teach me to do.
All right.
But instead, no, I got to finish this. Then I get told to this court says by Prosecutor Love that I'm not being candid with the court and I'm misrepresenting because Mr. Bean never went to the hospital at Grady on September 11, 2013, and Ms. Love has a document on the desk to prove it. I sat right in front of Your Honor at the table, at the bench, and I said, I'd be careful what you say. That's not accurate. Ms. Love looked down on me and she said, it is accurate. You said, we'll take a break, figure it out. After the break, you didn't even bat an eye. Ms. Love said, yeah, I was totally wrong. Mr. Steele's right. He was taken to Grady. If I would have done that and called another member of the bar disingenuous, not truthful, no candor, and misrepresenting, you would have had me yelling in front of a jury. You did nothing. You didn't even ask Ms. Love to apologize. I don't want her apology. I don't care about Ms. Love. But I care about the court. And now if you can walk in someone else's shoes just for a minute and see what you're doing to Mr. Williams, because it's hurtful. I'm not the one wasting time. I'm here every day ready to go. I am not wasting the time. I make a motion to ask you to please recuse yourself. I know it has to be in writing within 5 days. If you want me to do that, I'll do it. And it has to go to another judge. But this is what's going on, Your Honor, whether you see it or not. You're yelling at me in front of a jury for nothing. And then you won't apologize. And I did nothing wrong ever on these occasions or others.
I'm going to go ahead and address your motion at this point in time. I'm going to deny your motion at this point in time. I mean, I'm not saying anything, but if true, that's a pretty serious accusation.
If true, I'll die right now. How about that, Judge Glanville?
Your Honor, I object to this.
I don't care about her objection. I'm speaking with the court.
Your Honor, I object.
I'm speaking with the court.
Okay.
I'm speaking
Let
with
him
the
finish,
court.
and then you can state your.
My point is, if you don't see what's going on, it's because you're not viewing it out of the lens
But
of
Mr.
a juror.
Mr. Steele, I can't do that. I have to be the referee. So the jury decides those particular issues of believability and credibility. Now, I'm not getting into the throes of war between you and the state. That's your business, and that is
I have
certainly
nothing to do with a throw war.
No, but I mean, it's your ability as an advocate. I told you before, that's your ability as an advocate. All right.
What I'm saying is, you said in front of this jury, I was unprofessional. I am not unprofessional. You were wrong.
I think at that particular point in time, given the totality of what happened, that's what the court's assessment was. Sir, I am.
But it was wrong.
It's a snippet in time. Mr. Steele, you're a very good attorney, but I'm a professional jurist, and you may not like some of the rulings that I make, and you may not like the way that the trial is going at a particular point in time. That's for all advocates. Ms. Love and her colleagues, I've told them the same thing. But I think that, my job as the referee is to give you a fair trial. And that's what I'm going to do.
Well, I hope that's true. But you just told the jury I'm unprepared. And I am prepared. I don't understand why you would say that.
Both of you And I'll level this against the state. Both of you, that's being unprepared, because that I have to then listen to this to rule on it.
I understand, but I'm the only one that the jurors here, the court, take ire with.
Is completely improper, disrespectful. The state has done nothing of the sort, and we would ask that Mr. Steele be reprimanded for doing so, and the court rightly did so. And to have him ask for an apology after he has been blatantly improperly acting before the jury, I don't know what else I could say. I would just ask that the court admonish counsel for testifying during trial. I have given the state, the court, the basis for the questions that I've asked, and I've never asked a question that assumes facts that are not in evidence. Unlike the question, why did you know that? Do you recall that? I didn't phrase my questions like that because I know not to do that, and I'm not gonna do that. And I don't want to improperly give the jury an impression of something that exists or that will be shown that I can't show them. So there is a real clear distinction in what Mr. Steele asked, implying, why did you give a statement at the hospital? And he keeps conflating what it is that is objectionable. He keeps asserting something so that everybody in the ethos is asking, oh, where is this interview? Where's this recording? He's never seen one. He doesn't have a good faith basis for asking for one. And yet he continues to put that question out there so that everyone in the universe has this idea, oh, the state is hiding something. Oh, the state destroyed evidence. Again, they sat there for a whole day asking witnesses about the destruction of evidence. There was no evidence that anybody destroyed any evidence, yet they stood there a whole day and asked someone about that. And then he asks a witness on the stand under the guise of impeaching him, do you recall that? Or didn't this happen? Or can you explain why the state would delete, or can you explain why the state failed to record your interview at the hospital? And he has no information that an interview at the hospital exists. So all of that, Your Honor, I don't know if Mr. Steele wants, to give an impression. I don't know. He's vigorously advocating for his client. That's what he is supposed to do. But I would ask that the court deny all of his motions. They are baseless. And I would ask, I've taken my licks from the court. We all have. And I'd ask that the court deny the motion for recusal. The court has made rulings that obviously the state hasn't agreed with. The court has made rulings that other people haven't agreed with. So this notion that somehow the court is biased, when as recently as a few days ago, I caught it hardest. It was played everywhere. I'd ask that the court just deny Mr. Steele's motions, all of them, out of hand.
All right.
So Miss Steele can't read the room at all. She admitted that she watches the internet because she said there's a million videos of me. So let me understand this. And I just want to be fair, square, obvious, and honest. The judge will tell them, the jurors, the witnesses, don't watch the internet. Don't watch the internet. Don't watch the internet. But the attorneys can. Now let's understand something. I can understand if somebody reported to you in your office that is scowling the media and then turns around and says, hey, Miss Love, they got a video about you. They're saying this. They're saying that. All right, cool. I got that part. But the part that I don't understand is her saying that. Now let's get to it. What actually happened today? So there's a video call from Bean where Bean talks about the reason why they robbed him. They robbed old boy, right? And the reason that they did that, and then what they were going to do with the money and all this stuff and everything like that. Understood. All right, cool. So I'm trying to understand why this wasn't dealt with way before. The judge proposed one of the greatest ideas he's had in a while. And just by watching this, he ain't had a lot in a while. He said, we need to come to a resolution, or we're going to start having to have court an hour before to deliberate on these things. Wow, what an amazing thing to think, because there are reports out there that really believe this trial is going to run to 2027. It's definitely going to run until 2025, and it'll be over around next summer, 2025, or next fall, for sure. by the pace of this. If the judge does not implement that and all these pieces of evidence keep on coming out, then yeah. Now, here's what the judge does. And he admitted it today. He has he has a veterans court. So he handles stuff with the veterans. Shout out to him. I won't be, going too hard on you and stuff like that. If you take care of the veterans and you rule in favor of the veterans, I don't care what they ask for. I don't care what the veterans ask for. I don't care about their skin color. You better see that through. So if you holding companies and stuff to task and all this other stuff for mistreating the veterans, I'm with that 100%. But let's get back to it. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think when it comes to cross-examining Detective Quinn, do you think Brian Steele or Adams would be better? If you're with me, you're saying Adams would be better. Now, let's understand that. Admitting that would admit what? Nothing. It doesn't admit that Brian Steele ain't good at his job or anything like that. It doesn't admit any of that. But let's get into it. Let's delve a little bit further. Upon examination, and this is where I know, just by looking at a little bit of the jurors, where I get Brian Steele's frustration. Because what Miss Love is doing, or the whole entire prosecution is doing, half-truths. Meaning, I'll tell this half of the story, but you won't get this other half of the story. And that's why a lot of you bloggers can't make it, because y'all be telling half-truths. There'll be other whole half of the story that y'all be telling, but I'll let y'all fall on your faces. Basically, when she asked, and I know y'all picked this up, y'all the visionaries, and if y'all didn't, y'all understand how my mind works. She literally asked Detective Quinn, has he deleted any recordings pertaining to Mr. Flores? She didn't say ever. Remember that part. Remember that part. She never said ever. Then, he said that, was he cleary-eyed? Was he all this stuff and everything like that? Did we not? And I'll pin the Flores Navarro video in the comments if y'all want to see it. He literally said, bro, I was messed up out of my mind and all of this stuff and everything like that. He said he was off the drugs. Then he also said, I was telling the police whatever I needed to tell them in order to get, up out of this trouble we was going to be in. Because he said out of his own mouth, hey, we walked down to the store. It just so happened that my car was there. Or his girlfriend's Nissan was there. So that's the weird thing, because he literally said, I walked to the store, but today on the recording from Detective Quinn, he said we followed the lights and people were telling us our car was whatever, and then literally said out his mouth, there was 4 mils. But I thought you was messed up out your mind. Okay. So it's just crazy, bro. Within the argument was that they're giving us all of this stuff and not enough time to prepare, and then they're adding all this stuff, and then we had to do these motions, which Brian Steele, I got what he did. I got what Brian Steele did, bro. Don't believe that. Do not believe that BS that Brian Steele did today. All that, I'm just mad. You keep on admonishing me in front of the jury. You've never done that to Miss Love. You've only did that to her when the jury is away. And I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all gotta correct me when we're wrong. I was like, he might be right, bro. I can't recall, bro. I real life can't recall. But also, this is where the part gets real interesting. He lied too. Yeah, he lied. He lied for good reason. Because there was duplicates. And when it was revealed there was duplicates, he never said nothing. Then he said they never got it. He was lying. Now, the stuff about the hospital, Miss Love gonna have to let that one go, because Brian Steele ain't gonna let that go. Brian Steele keeps on talking about this recording, which the Detective Quinn never says that he goes to the hospital. He says he sent 2 other people to the hospital. And then Bean said he was in the hospital. So you mean to tell me there's 3? And this is what Brian Steele is trying to do. You're trying to tell me that there's 3 people that have been involved in the crime, all in the hospital. You send 2 detectives to only talk to 2 people? I'm pretty sure y'all with me. That doesn't make sense. But let's take it a step further. Brian Steele was so pissed off. He told Miss Love. He told the judge, "I don't care about Miss Love." And then the equivalent of, "If I did anything wrong, I'll die." For the hood, let me help y'all out. That's white people talk for on God, on my hood, on the set, nigga on everything. That on my mama. That's the equivalent now. Just want y'all to, y'all like, damn, this nigga said he gonna die in his court. You gonna die about Young Thug? Nigga, you YSL, slatty. But he got what he wanted. What Brian Steele ultimately did was fool all of y'all who were watching that. Brian Steele knew exactly what he was doing. Brian Steele was doing this. Let me say you treat me so bad that eventually you gotta let up. Let me say you treat me so bad that when it comes time to get rid of some evidence, you're going to work with me a little bit. That's all that was, bruh. That's all that was. Imagine, if you will, we'll paint an illustration just real fast. If you had a kid and your kid was messing up and you had another kid and that kid was messing up, but the one kid was messing up a lot more than the other kid, but the kid who was messing up a lot more say, "Hey, why do you keep getting on my case so much? You don't get on his case like that." And you're like, damn, let me relax on him a little bit. That's essentially what Brian Steele did. Brian Steele really pushes the issue and really borderline do some stuff because Miss Love was right. When you ask the questions that he was asking, he was inferring within his questions. He was. If y'all want to stop being fans for 2 seconds and just sit back and say, you know what, I'm not going to be biased with this, bro, I am telling y'all, Brian Steele has been playing a slippery game. But this is how you get your money, your chili, your dinero, your feta, your gouda, by doing stuff like this. If I ask you for 10 things, you might say no to 9 of them and let me get away with the 10th one. And that's what Brian Steele is doing, bro. I wanted to say that the judge was super biased. Does he have a bit of a bias? Yeah. Does he yell at Miss Love? He has, but I can't recall when it was in front of the jury. So he's right on that part. But also at the same time, she's a woman. It's not going to, I'm just telling you, bro. She's a woman. It's going to look bad. Because when Brown was up there, y'all see Brown asses in the back eating popcorn. That nigga is done. The judge eviscerated his ass, sent him back to the shadow realm. So I think a bit of that, battle of the sexes is going on personally. But share to keep your people aware. Subscribe, turn on the bell to stay notified. If you don't see this at 3,000 likes, do me a solid. Hit that like button to start the conversation. If you disagree, tell me why you disagree. Hey, we are going up fast. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. The people who watch this, they common workers, bro. Y'all got jobs and stuff like that. So just be prepared, bro. We're going to shoot up to 200,000 real fast, man. And if we get there within a couple of months like it's looking, I'm going to just say every 50,000 we're going to give $1,000 away, because at the end of the day, man, it's all y'all, bro. The reason why we're going to these other bigger platforms and stuff like that has nothing to do with me. It's a whole combination. So once again, I appreciate y'all. I've given thousands, well, not even we, because it ain't no me without y'all. We've given thousands to the youth in Philadelphia. You see what I'm saying? I'm from California. We've given thousands to the youth in Philly. So I know a lot of us are common, hardworking individuals and stuff like that. And I just want to give back to y'all, to the visionaries in particular. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. As soon as we hit 200,000, bro, we're just going to bless somebody with 1,000, bro. And I think every 50,000, that's when we're just going to start giving away another 50,000, because honestly, we could all use a break.